ever been in a place where you have wanted more sales and you felt like either you didn't have enough leads, like enough people to talk to, or conversely, you felt like maybe you actually had too many leads, too many people to talk to, and you couldn't get it together. You couldn't organize it all, and people were falling through the cracks. This is the show for you because I have the most amazing human with me here right now. I'm going to bring her on the screen. Give her a big round of applause, all of the hearts, all of the likes. Her name is Jenna Larson. Oh my gosh. We've been friends forever. She is here. She's like, yay. She is here. And we are going to cover how you can find, follow up, and convert all of the amazing humans that are a perfect fit for your products and services. So let us know that you're here. Drop the word lead below if you would like access to the show notes. A reminder, next time we're live, we're going to play a little video and we will be right back. Oh my gosh.
That was the coolest thing ever.
You were the coolest thing ever. I do have to give a shout out. Kevin, our graphic designer, made these videos for us and for our Multiply members, and I'm so excited about it. Isn't it so cool?
It's so cool. And now I'm like, I need to be a Multiply member just so I can have that because I feel very much FOMO right now.
It's an easy thing. We can make it happen. Just type Multiply in the chat and magic can happen. All right. If you don't know who Jenna is, oh my gosh. Oh, do you have a window open with the video playing?
Do I? I think I do.
Maybe. We're getting it together. We got to make sure we close all the windows. Close the windows. Do you hear it?
My windows are closed.
Oh, so weird. Okay. Did that close it?
I think
we're good.
All windows. Okay.
Something is strange in our feed, in our sound. Okay, let us know if this sound seems okay to you if you're watching this. I'm going to turn my volume down. Do you hear the echo?
I do not hear an echo.
Okay, so maybe it's just my own sound was being weird when I had Joey on also too. We're not going to worry about it. So the magic that is about to unfold before your eyes right now, Jenna, when did you come up with this magical tool that you now are the co-founder of?
Yeah, so it's interesting. I actually accidentally made this tool about 2 years ago. So I had a coaching program at the time, and that's actually one of the reasons why I joined Glam, which is Molly's amazing program if you don't know. So funny enough, I joined her program to help really scale my coaching business. And at the time, I was really just coaching people on how to find leads and to work them through kind of like a systematic process of taking them from lead to client. And so what was really crazy is most of my clients were using Facebook to find their leads. And so what I was teaching them was working, but it caused another problem, which was everybody's losing people through the cracks. They have so many people to manage. They have so many good conversations going on that they're just like seriously losing their mind and losing money on the table because they didn't have a way to manage it. And so I was driving literally, I think it was about 2 years ago. It was like almost Christmas. And I was like, oh my God, I have an idea. And I was like, what if we just built a system so that we could really help people work where their clients actually spend their time, which is on Facebook, right? We didn't want you or anybody to have to be like managing multiple systems, copying, pasting, putting all the things everywhere. And so called a guy that had previously worked with me privately. He had hired me as his coach. And I was like, oh my God, can you make this thing? And he was like, no. And that was kind of the end of our conversation. I was super
That's
bummed.
my favorite part of this story.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what this tool is, it is going to blow your mind. It will we're going to show you the whole thing, but it really does allow you to keep track of your connections on the Book of Faces inside Messenger. I mean, how many of you have ever had a time where someone has messaged you? Let us know in the chat. Someone has messaged you and said like, I guess you don't actually want to work with me because you never got back to me, or all of a sudden you've dropped the ball. It really will solve that problem for you if you use it properly. So Jenna, he said no. And then what did you say? Because You
I was
don't
like,
take no for an
well,
answer.
yeah, I was like, fine, I'll do it myself. Well, I didn't do it myself. I mean, about 2 weeks passed and it was Christmas time and, doing life. And then he messaged me and he was like, oh my God, Jenna, I did it. And so it has been so, so fun because I am now the co-founder of this tool, which is called GroupTrack. And so I kind of lead the strategy of it. He leads the development. And it's so funny because literally our relationship has never changed. I go to him and I'm like, oh my gosh, either me or one of our amazing clients needs you to build this thing to make the tool better. And he says no. And then sometimes literally before we're even off the phone call, he's already developed it and launched it. It's like just that. So our relationship continues to be like that, which is just so fun for us and for our clients.
It's so awesome. It is absolutely amazing. And I've just been so, so grateful to be putting this into action in our business. We have done it. Like, if you've heard about any of the big crazy results that we've had, like, you just an idea. There was one, last year in November, I had an idea on a Sunday. By the following Saturday, we had done like $140,000 in sales, all because of what we're doing with this tool. And so if you want to check out the tool, you can go to, I'm going to give you a link in the chat. You can go to molly.live/awesome. I'm just going to put it on the screen. You can also, if you're on the Book of Faces on our business page right now, you can type in the word lead and we'll get back to you, all of that. I know we're also in Jenna's group too. So if you're in Jenna's group and you're not already using GroupTrack, oh my gosh, what are you doing? Like, hello. So Jenna, if you write the word lead in Jenna's group in the chat too, she will come back and follow up with you also. And we're going to get into some strategies here before we even get into the actual tool. Before I show you the magic, Jenna shows us the magic of what this actually does. We thought it was important to talk about the foundations because Jenna, I brought this mug for you. Are you ready to see it?
Yeah.
Okay. Cause it's is it going to show? Ooh, this calls for a spreadsheet.
I love that. So good. So
This
good.
stuff works in a spreadsheet. It works with a Post-it note, but it'll work way better if you use this tool. And can you just speak to that idea that like this stuff still has to be implemented? Like you can't just, you have to actually do the things.
Yes. And it's so funny because I think that's why I love, working with Molly. And, for those of you guys who don't know, like we have like a direct bat line at GroupTrack over to Molly to be like, do you need this? Does this work with your strategy? What are you teaching your clients? How do we build something to make it work for them? Because the thing is, and I say this all the time, it may sound very strange because I own GroupTrack, but I am going to say it is not worth much unless you have a strategy and you actually work the strategy, right? You need to actually have an intention, a plan, a place to go find leads, to bring them into the system so that our system can do its job. But, it's like this big, we do Jenna rants around here, which is, I think the idea that people think is like, oh, if I just post something on social media, everybody will know that I sell it. And so they'll come to me. And what I try to tell people all the time is that, imagine someone walks into your home, right? And you're like, oh yeah, the bar is over there. Go ahead and help yourself. Well, usually we're like, oh, I'll just get a water. It's okay. Even if we're like, oh, I'd really like that Chardonnay. But like, for whatever reason, we just feel weird about like helping ourselves to think it's just part of who we are.
I think it's such a good analogy. And I forgot about that analogy. I've heard you mention it before and it's so true. And I would love if you're watching this, if you agree, when you walk into someone's house and they say, help yourself, are you the type of person who goes up and says like, great, I'll open your fridge and get things out? Or are you the type who actually feels more comfortable if they pour you the glass of wine? I think most of us feel more comfortable if they actually help us.
And imagine, to take it a step further, not only did they like hand it to you, but they were like, oh man, Molly, I know that you had a rough day based on our conversation before, and I got you your favorite Chardonnay. Right? Imagine if they
does everyone want to know what that is? Because I have a very favorite Chardonnay.
No, I don't, but I'm going to write it in my CRM.
See, but you could write it in GroupTrack. You could have this as a note. My favorite Chardonnay is La Crema. During 2020, I definitely got a La Crema subscription.
Oh,
like, really stepped it up in the world of Chardonnay.
When we talk about it, and it's super interesting. I was just doing an interview with someone else that we're saying like, maybe we shouldn't call organic social anymore, because what organic implies is that you just put it and organically people will show up in your bank account. And it just doesn't work that way. We actually need to build relationships. So imagine if instead of just being bars over there or, oh yeah, here's a Chardonnay, what if we were actually like, I know this about you because you've told me these things, and I remember because I'm a good human, and I got you something that is very customized and unique to solve your problem. The response from the person is that they're going to feel valued, they're going to have trust in you, and when they go to purchase, when they go to take a drink, they're going to go find you to give it to them instead of the random person that's just like, yeah, bars over there. So I think it's super, super important that we recognize we've got to have the strategy, we've got to have the system, and we have to have the tool to all put that together to make it really work. Because again, posting on social and then just expecting dollars to show up in your bank account is not going to happen. We have to do the work.
Did we all just hear that? Posting on social and then expecting dollars sitting up in your bank account does not work, right? There's a follow-up process in place. And I know many of us know this, but then there's all sorts of resistance that comes up. It feels super overwhelming. And honestly, sometimes the platform goes down and you are in trouble. So another reason that we've used GroupTrack and that it's been such a huge asset for us was, I don't know if you remember, but
Oh, I remember. I already know what you're going to
say. In October of 2021, there was a Wednesday. No, it was a Monday. It was a Monday that Facebook went down, and it was the first day of a 5-day challenge for us. It was a big deal. We had about 700 people who had registered for this challenge. We went to start this. It was a video kickstart. We went to start the video, and 2 minutes before I clicked go live, there was a warning in the backside of Be Live that said, the platform is down. You can't log into Facebook today. I would have been in huge trouble. However, thanks to Jenna and Nate, her co-founder, I was able to take all of our people and migrate them over to YouTube. So this tool allows you to keep track of the connections that you're building. It allows you to have like a system for following up, and it's not going into the platform and pulling information that is like an illegal thing where it's breaking rules. It's actually just like having, I like to say it's like putting a Post-it note on top of your computer screen that grabs the information. It's like you have a little VA, a little, here, I'll have Breathless Mahoney is going to be my little VA, and she's just going to sit on my shoulder and help me.
Which is so funny because we've talked about like we need to rename GroupTrack to be like a persona, because it's like literally having an assistant sitting on your shoulder being like, hey, by the way, you should reach out to this person. I got you. I'll do it for you. You know what I mean? And it's not that it's not automated in the way where it takes the human out. And I think that's super important to recognize is we're very anti like blasting people and not having connections. We use the tool to nudge the genuine conversations. I think that's really important to mention.
Amazing. Yeah. And then, I mean, this also allows you to be able to bring your team in without giving your team access to your social media accounts. So another thing that we're both really big about is that we don't want to give out, especially with the Book of Faces, we don't want to give out our private login information and have somebody else in our account for 2 reasons. One is the Book of Faces does not like that. You can get in trouble. The other is
shut down.
Yeah, like not just in trouble, but like you can lose your account. So if you have people logging into your account from other locations, you can it'll look like you're being hacked. And in order to protect you, they're going to shut your account down. So that's one huge thing you want to be careful of. And what this does is it allows, like you may have gotten a message from our team, either from Tim or from Kendra or from Kimiko or from Marife. We have different people, Nancy, people on our team who are using GroupTrack so that we're all on the same page and we're providing the best experience for you without lying.
Right.
It's really important.
Because it's super awkward if someone is messaging in your, profile and you're like, I went to high school. What are you talking about? Like we know each other. Like that's very awkward. It's disingenuine. I don't know the word.
It's not genuine.
There we go. Not genuine. And it just doesn't look good, right? You're trying to develop trust with these people. That's the quickest way to ruin it.
1,000,000%. And if you missed it, the little nudge that Jenna just gave there, actually, Jenna and I have known each other since we were 11. I keep thinking it was junior high, but we actually knew each other since elementary school.
Yeah. So crazy. People don't realize. It was really funny too when I posted that on my thing. I was like, people don't even care that we're doing a webinar. What they really care about is that we've known each other since we were 11. That's like every comment.
The same dentist, like all of these things. Okay, so we're gonna get into these strategies. So Jenna, I want to do a little giveaway today while we're here. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna give away a So Good shirt. Would that be fun?
It would be so good.
That'd be so good. Okay, so here's how you enter. As we're going through these strategies today, as we're showing you the magic of this tool, you're going to get nuggets. I know that you are. So as you hear nuggets, as you hear quotables, Jenna has so many little good things that are going to worm their way into your brain and travel with you into the future. Write hashtag nugget and what the tip or strategy or thing that you're going to implement was in the chat. This will do a few things. The first thing is it will help to take notes for those people who can't keep up because Jenna and I talk really fast.
I do.
So thank you for that. Writing them will help everyone. It will also help to ground it in for you because you may believe the things that we say, but when you say it, you believe it even more. So when you repeat it, it's going to help ground it in for you. And the separate little sneaky thing is that it's going to help with the algorithm here on the Book of Faces. So the more that we have an actual longer conversation on YouTube as well, wherever we are, this video will reach more people. That way, more people will be awesome at their sales, not being salesy weirdos and creepers, and we'll just make the world a better place. The fourth thing is you get to enter the contest. So at the end, we'll pick a winner before we end this video who will win a So Good shirt. And I'm moving way too much for my fancy camera. I need to stand still because it keeps
I know.
going.
Well, like I feel bad for everybody, or maybe it's a good thing, but I can't imagine people who work faster or talk faster than you and I, and to put us together, it's like deadly. But I will tell you, get the nuggets coming in, you guys, because we decided, sometimes when we have people on our shows, it's like they're just training. What's really cool, Molly and I are gonna like combine our brains because so much of what I've learned and what we've taken to really build our tool is what we have gotten from Molly. I don't know if she said this, but I'm in her GLAM program, right? Which is her high level coaching program where she teaches us how to monetize social media. And so much of what we build on our tool is because Molly's like, there's this new strategy and it's amazing and we need you to build it. And so then we tell Nate, hey, can you build it? He says no. And then a day later he builds it. And we're like, thanks for that, Molly. So
Thank you.
I'm super excited because we're going to give you a lot of things that I learned from Molly, right? And so we're going to combine the strategy with the tool and show you how it works. So we're really excited.
It's going to be so cool. Even yesterday, we were actually on a call, the three of us. You may have seen Nate, Jenna, and I were on a call together talking about Reels and how we can use this with Reels too. So they are really staying on the cutting edge of what's working on social media so that we can then use these strategies. It's so awesome. Okay, so let's get this started. I am so stoked. If you're ready, give us the word ready. I know we've already dropped so many nuggets so far, so drop your favorite nugget so far in the chat. And we're going to talk about, before we get into Group Track, we're going to talk about where the heck you can go to find these connections. And Jenna, I'm sure this is something that you hear a lot. Also, I know you and I kind of go off about this often when people are saying, I don't have any leads. I don't have anyone to talk to. What do you have
It's
to
like
say
my
about
number
that?
one Jenna rant, which is what we call when I like angrily yell at people and I'm like, they're right here. So here is what we're going to say. We're going to actually show you 3 different places that you guys can find leads because there is not a single human that can say, hopefully after watching this training, that they do not have leads or cannot find people to speak to on social media. So we're actually going to show you 3 places that you can go. So the first places, you guys, and what we like to do and kind of teach is this idea of a yellow car. So yellow car equals your ideal client. So just to give you perspective, if I were to ask you, hey, when you're driving around town, how often do you see a yellow car? You'd be like, never. But if I said, no, imagine that there is a $sign over every single yellow car you see. Tell me how many yellow cars you see. All of a sudden, if you start looking for them, you are going to see them everywhere. And I can guarantee someone this week after watching this call is going to DM me and say, Jen, I see yellow cars everywhere. Guaranteed. I don't know who it's going to be. Probably you, probably many of you, because it happens every single time I give this analogy. So this is the cool thing, right? Once you start knowing who to look for, you start to see them everywhere. So then we have a choice. We can either sit on the highway, which would be like kind of hanging out on Facebook, and just hope and pray that a yellow car drives by. Or we can be super strategic and say, wait a minute, are there places where yellow cars hang out? Well, guess what? We call them yellow car parking lots. It is where there are groups of people that are your ideal client, and they are literally sitting in communities waiting for you to come in and solve their problems. And so we're actually going to give you maybe even 4 places that you can go find leads. So the first place that I would recommend is doing partnerships, right? Doing exactly what Molly and I are doing right now, right? She comes in front of my community. I get her in front of I just said that backwards. I'm in front of hers and so forth, right? Giving amazing knowledge, getting in front of audiences that you know are full of your yellow cars, right? But this is the thing. Once you get them to honk their horn, which is commenting, engaging, liking, loving, what we've got to do is capture those people. Well, who are the people that are honking their horns? Because that's the person we want to get into a conversation and eventually get into our offer.
I'm
And
so
so,
glad you started with this partnerships piece, because one thing that I was going to say is that comes up for a lot of people when they think of the idea of a lead or a prospect. I noticed that there's some resistance to that because it feels like, oh, I mean, my coach, Adam, who we love so much, Adam Urbanski, he used to
yeah,
use the term snipering when he would talk about going to find ideal clients. And I was like, I am not using that term. Then he changed it. I said, I'm going to call it spotlighting. And so he calls
yeah,
it spotlighting now. But
love.
it's this idea that we're like on the hunt for a yellow car. And I think the way that you position this is actually so beautiful. It may not be an ideal person who's going to purchase from you. It may be the person who's going to share your stuff with their community, which is even more valuable. So stay
100%.
curious.
Yeah. And it's super interesting. And I don't know if you guys, and actually, I would love to know in the chat, guys, just give me the word ew. If you've ever gotten a DM from someone that's like just straight trying to sell you something. Well, normally when you get those messages and you're like, ew, your first thought is like, ew, block them. I'm not going to deal with it. Well, I'm like, wait a minute. There might be a partnership here, right? So, in my opinion, when I look at like prospecting and talking to yellow cars, my number one yellow car, like the yellowest of yellow with like pinstriping and pimped out wheels and all the things, is actually someone that I can partner with, like a Molly, like an Adam, like a whatever, right?
I think it's
Because
going to be like a yellow bus because it has more people in it.
ooh,
Right?
yes, agreed. Or like a limo even, right? But
Yeah.
the reason is because I know if we're talking about making money, I can make way more money if I am connecting with an audience full of yellow cars, if I'm in front of a yellow car parking lot versus trying to sell you something in the DMs. It's gross, it doesn't work, it's ew encompassing, right? But so every time I get one of those, I'm like, let's give them grace. They're trying. We have an opportunity here, but let's see how we can partner instead of me just trying to sell you my stuff. It just doesn't work, right?
Yeah.
And so if I were to say, and this is how I grew my entire business to six figures and beyond within the first year of doing it, is I went and connected with people who had yellow car parking lots. I'd get in front of them. They'd buy my thing. They'd share it. They'd share it. They'd share it. It was crazy, right? So partnering, number one, best thing. But here's the thing. When people are commenting, oohing, eyeing, doing all the amazing things, they are basically honking their horn and saying, I am your yellow car. You guys see Molly do it all the time. She's like, give me a this, give me a that. And what is she doing? She is eliciting the yellow cars to honk their horn. Let's just be honest about what it is. It's freaking genius. And that is going to tell you who you should be focusing on, right? So that would be number one. The second place, and this is weird, another yellow car parking lot is actually your friends list. And a lot of times I know you're going to be like, they're not my ideal client. They're my family. They're my friends. Well, I've made a very clear decision in my business that I'm going to use my friends list as a lead generating mechanism. So I accept friends that I don't actually know, because the reason I do is most of the time I know they're probably friending me to sell me something, which means they have a business, which means they might be yellow to me, right? And so I accept them. But this is the thing, you guys, accepting a friend request or maybe even sending them to people that you're trying to get to know that might be a yellow car does not equal money. Just because you're friends with someone does not mean they're going to go into your kitchen and pull out your Chardonnay, right? We have to do something about it. And so that's really what's really cool. And I'll show you in just a minute. When I look at my friends list, and I don't know if you can put this on the screen.
Yeah, I'll bring it up on the screen.
My friends list looks very different than yours, right? So what you're going to see next to each person's name is we've this little label here, right? This is GroupTrack working. So what you're going to see is our tool integrates right where your people are spending their time, which is on social media, okay? And so what we want to do is we want to look at the people on your friends list, determine, could they be yellow? Is there something on their profile that tells me, wait a minute, I might be honking soon? And then what we do is we simply just add them to our system. We put them in our pipeline. And then, like Molly said, we do something with them. We start a conversation. We get them into the system. We move them through the process to get them from, hey, I just met you, to, hey, do you want to join my group? I'm so glad you got it, Molly. Sometimes I sing that because I have no response at all, right? But we want to go from, hey, I just met you truly, to, hey, I actually think based on our conversation that I might be able to support you. Would you like to join our community? Or would you like to learn about what it looks like to get support? It's that easy, right? But we have to intentionally show up, look at our yellow car parking lot, which is your friends list, and do the thing. One of the really easy ways that you can actually do this is to start a message. And this is the little message that we do and that we teach at GroupTrack, is to send a message that says, hey, well, first of all, we say thank you for connecting. Anytime we send you a DM, we are going to tell you why we're DMing you, because we don't want to be, as Molly would call it, a salesy weirdo. And so what we do is we use a formula which teaches you to trigger and tell them what the trigger was that told you to message them. So in this instance, if you're working your friends list, you're going to say, thanks for connecting, meaning you friended me or I friended you, but most of the time you friended me. And so I'm going to tell you, that's why I'm messaging you, so you don't think I'm weird. And then I'm going to say, what's the point of social media if we're not being social, right? Like, let's be real. Why are we friends if we don't actually know each other, but we're not doing anything about it? That's what I'm really saying, right? In a kind way. And then I say, I'd love to learn about what you're working on and see if we can support each other. The truth is, I genuinely mean it. I'm not trying to sell you something in the DMs. I'm trying to uncover, what are you actually working on? Is there an opportunity to collaborate so we can help each other? And if there is, amazing. And if there's not, then that's okay too, right?
And this is a really big, like, this little differentiator right here is a huge piece of what's really important with making this work without being a total creeper. And there's the creeper, and then there's the wallflower who won't talk to anybody. So you don't want to be either of those. You want to get in the parking lot, you want to get on the playground, whatever it is. And what we like to identify with this is that and you're so good at doing this, Jenna, also, you have a clear intention, which is the thing that comes from your heart, which is actually to connect. We're on social media. What the heck is the point of being here if we're not actually talking? And then there is the separate piece, which is your business objective. So one of our team members reached out to someone about offering, there was a new person to our Facebook group, and I told our team member that she could give like 3 social media audits a week for free. She messaged to this person, which is awesome, by the way.
Yeah.
So, and this is our social media manager. She messaged this person. This person wrote back and was like, yeah, sure. She asked her a couple of questions so that she could actually give a social media audit that is beneficial. And then this person who may be here watching this right now, whose social media audit is coming today, she wrote back to Kendra and was like, I know you're just doing your job and you're doing a really good job at it, but obviously you're just trying to sell me something. So why are you, like, you can stop asking these questions. And so Kendra came back to me like, what do I do? And honestly, I told Kendra, like, this is why on the sheet, it has our intention. Our intention is to provide value to our community. And we give so much effing value for free here that if someone is irritated that we're asking them questions, and the woman who wrote this was super, if you're watching this right now, she was super nice in the way that she wrote it. But you have to understand that some people are going to be like, look, I don't want to answer these questions. And then you just say like, great. And you move on.
Yeah, it's okay. Right. And I think that's the thing. It's like, you know, when we're asking questions is, do you have a problem we can actually solve? How important is it? And when do you want to get it done? And then we can say like, oh, do you want to learn about how we can support you in getting those results or not? And either way is okay, because we're going to give you so much value in the community regardless. You know, yes, we're in business, but we make money by serving, right? And I think we have to remember that it's okay to also make sales, because we also do want to, you know, live our lives. So
because otherwise you're not actually going to be able to make the impact. You're not going to be able to serve because you are so concerned about buying groceries. Like the whole, there has to be a balance between the giving and the connecting, and then the offering, which in the offering, keep in mind, we were talking about this yesterday on the Glam call. Like, it's not, when I make an offer, I'm not saying, give me your money. When I'm making an offer, I'm saying, I can solve your problems if you have a problem that you want to have solved.
Yeah,
it's just happens to be an exchange of money after that conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's really cool, guys, is we're going to go to our friends list. And if you can share your screen just one more time, what's going to happen is we find these people and we're like, okay, I think you're a yellow car. What we do then is we add them to GroupTrack by literally clicking a button. And then what you're going to see is it is a full CRM that's literally sitting right here on your system. And so remember how I was saying, well, yeah, we should send that message that's like, hey, what's the point of social media if we're not being social? Well, you can actually do that right here from our system. So first I put him in the first stage, which is identified as lead. Then I put him in send a friend request. And then I'm just going to simply put him in started conversation. What's really cool about GroupTrack is not only do we give you these steps so that you know what to do, like in what order, but what you notice here is when I stuck him in started conversation, it says, hey, you've got a message linked to this stage. Do you want to look at it? What you're going to notice is I say yes. Automatically, it creates a message and it has his name in it and it says the exact thing I just said to you. What's the point of social media for not being social? So now I can just click with a button. This message is going to go from my personal profile into his messenger inbox, and then I'm going to move on, right?
So it's sent via Facebook Messenger. It's not like ManyChat or anything like that where it's like connected inside Facebook. It's actually opening your Facebook and sending it from your own account inside your own Messenger, but it's keeping track of what you've sent to people where it's not going to pull the messages they send back to you. It's literally just only doing the things that you're putting in here, but then your whole team can see where you're at in these conversations.
Right, absolutely. And it's like, again, you cannot tell me you don't have people you can connect with today, literally on our call. So we give complimentary coaching, to our users, and we sit there and we're like, go at them. And literally you should be able to add, depending on how many friends you have, this many people to your leads list right now and go connect with them. And what's so crazy, I actually had a client that was super resistant to this the other day. She's like, I just don't want to do it. And I was like, too bad you're doing it. She sent 5 messages. By the end of the day, 3 of them had responded with amazing, like, thank you so much. It's so true. This is great. I'd love to talk to you. Ended up getting on a Zoom call, and now they're going to be having a joint conversation. So again, when you do things, things happen. When you don't, they don't, because no one's helping themselves to your bar. And you have a whole bunch of thirsty people. That sounded awful, but also funny.
Oh, I like it.
Right? It's so good.
It could be a coffee bar also.
Yes, exactly. So the second place, and this is something that I learned from Molly, I would have never.
Wait, we've already covered 2. So we covered the partnerships, your friends, and then now the third one.
Third one is actually your business.
I'm sorry. Can we just pause for a second? If that just blew your mind that is possible with that tool to keep track of this stuff, give me a mind blown in the chat. Okay. Go.
Yeah. And what's beautiful is I don't have to worry. So the next time, like, let's say they message me back, I know exactly where they are in my process, right? The next thing I'm going to do is uncover their needs. And how do I know that? Because when I look at the next stage in the system, that's what it tells me to do, right? So it really does give you the strategy if you don't have one, and tells you and your team exactly what to do next. So the next place, you guys, number 3, is your business page. This is what I learned from Molly and Glam. In fact, literally we were doing yesterday in her coaching call. She forced us to do this.
And so many people, like, to your point, so many people were like, oh my gosh, no, I've not done this. And it is the easiest thing ever. If you have a business page right now in the chat, write the word yes, so we know you have a business page, and then you can do this.
And tell us how many people follow your business page.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Because I think a huge misconception in this is that you need to have bajillions of followers. And I have a couple of friends that are really amazing Facebook ad strategists who one in particular, he may be watching this. He has been on me like, let me run your ads. Let me run your ads. And I finally said no, because we have all these people already to reach out to that I don't want to send any more traffic to our stuff, because I want to spend the time actually supporting the people that are already here before I fill it up and people start falling through the cracks. So
Exactly.
it's oftentimes easier to actually do this if you have like 400 likes on your business page, and then you can move into those scalable things, which we do Facebook ads. We love Facebook ads, but right now I'm really focused on supporting you as a member of our community.
Well, and what's really crazy too, like I was just talking to a guy who uses GroupTrack, and he was able to lower his ad spend because now that he has a system in place, he's converting the leads he gets times 1,000,000. And so it's costing him less, making more, out of control, right? But this is the thing, right? How many of you are like, yeah, I have a business page, but it's crickets? Like, put crickets in the chat if you're like, yes, no one is commenting. That's the thing, guys. It's like, if we're talking about driving, right? We've got your neighborhood, which is your friends list. Then you have a sign outside of your business, which is your business page. So imagine when you drive by Carl's Jr., are you getting out of your car and honking your horn and like, yes, Carl's Jr.? Or do you drive by and be like, that smells good? You drive by.
Western bacon cheeseburger.
Right. But you're not like, oh my God, Carl's Jr. That's why, like, what we expect on our business page, you think people are going to drive by and like, get all excited in the fanfare, but it's not going to happen. Right. So what we need to do is put a little man with the spinny little sign, the one that's like, come into my open house.
Or this guy, like the car,
Yes.
the car
Yes.
dealership.
That is what we need on your business page. So here's how you do it. What do we do with all those people who like your business page? Well, guess what? Molly has this super ninja sneaky way. You can literally go onto your business page and find every single person who has liked it. So when we're talking about yellow cars, yeah, you've got your friends list. Those might be kind of yellow, right? It's going to take us some looking and figuring out to see. But if we go to the business page, in order for you to have liked it, you had to physically pick up your finger and click like, right? Otherwise, you're just like, meh, no. So the thing is, they're probably more yellow than your friends list, right? Because they did the action, they followed you, they liked something, they're a little bit more yellow. So what do we do? Right now, how many of you guys are asking people on your business page to help themselves, which means you're doing nothing with them? Can we just get an honest, like, yeah, I'm not. And that's okay, because we're going to give you one activity that you can go do right now. We're going to give you the actual script, and then we're going to tell you to do it, because what's going to happen is you're going to be like, OMG, that was ridiculously easy, and it works. So what you can do is, you guys, you can literally go to the list on your business page, find the list.
And if you want me to show you how to find that list, because it's kind of tricky, like just say show us in the chat and we'll come back. Because I see some of you here that are saying that you think you only have 10 likes, which if you have 10 likes, that's 10 humans to talk to.
Leads. 10 leads that you could add to your pipeline right now.
And my friend Christy Miller, I'm going to shout her out really quick, because she said that sometimes she'll hear people say things like, oh, I only had 4 people watch my live stream. And this is her response to that, which is, if you were sitting on the toilet and 4 people sat on your lap while you were sitting on the toilet, would you think it was only 4 people? No. Yeah. Which I think is the weirdest to know.
Well, by the way, let's not forget our friend Sean Q from Glam, who once did a live training, 0 people came. Someone of a friend watched it, 10K sale that day. So someone paid him
$10,000 and no one watched the live stream when it was live. So you are building a library of content. You have to have a system like Jenna's been talking about, and then you have to do the extra work around the edges to get people moving through it. So Jenna, do you want me to show it, or do you want to show it?
Yeah, I have it pulled up. So basically, guys, you're going to go to your page. On the left-hand side, you're going to go down to where it says, not settings.
Settings first.
Settings. Okay, I'm losing it. Settings right here on the left. Okay, then it's going to take you to another little drop down on the left-hand side, and it'll just take a moment because we're on streaming. Then you're going to click people and other pages. And again, this is what I learned in Glam. I cannot take any credit for this ridiculous ninja-ness. But again, you guys, this is how we become the little man with the spinny sign saying, come into my business, come into my business. Okay. So what you can do now, we have a list right here of every single person who has picked up their finger, put it on a thing and said, yes, I like it. These people are more yellow than anybody else. So what should we do with them? Well, number one, we should add them to your pipeline, because these are potential leads. And so again, if we look at GroupTrack, right, we put them in our pipeline, we put them in the stage that says identified as potential lead. What do we do with them next? I friend request them. That's a personal choice, because again, I've chosen to use my Facebook as a mechanism, right?
And it may get to the point where, like, I'm at the point where I keep hitting the 5,000 friends. So I'm no longer friend requesting people like that. So depending on what stage you're at with your business, you may make some different decisions there. You may want to right click, open that link in a new tab and kind of explore to see if they really are a yellow car, make that decision. And then from there, wait until you see what happens next. What we used to do was we would use a spreadsheet. So legitimately, our VA Kyle would go through in this little section. He'd copy every single person off this list. I mean, I have been doing this for years. So if you think that I just magically had people follow our business page, we just magically did $1 million in sales because of like whatever. I don't know what you think I'm doing, but I'm doing this. This is what I'm doing. So we do it
Yeah,
with a
it's so
spreadsheet.
crazy.
Now we do it with GroupTrack, which is way better.
Yeah. So literally what you can do, as she mentioned, is right, depending on kind of your speed, your capacity, all the things, you may not want to do this with everybody. But literally what we do is we're going to pull them up in another tab. We're going to take a look at their profile, see if there's any things that might indicate that they're a yellow car. If so, we simply hover over their name, add them to GroupTrack, and you can see they're going to pull up in this little sidebar, right, where we can take notes, we can do all the things. So again, what we can then
And
do
you can
is
see
click.
right there that she already sent the message to them. Do you see that little
I mean,
message
I
right there?
did.
She sent them a message.
Right. So what she's talking
And
about before, I know exactly what I've done with this person because it tracks it for me. When I send a message through GroupTrack, it tracks it. It's literally in the name. So again, what I can do is I can just say, find the message template that is thank you for liking my business page. Okay. And what I would like to do, guys, is give you the script that we send our people. And so
wait,
again,
do you want the script? I don't know if we should give it
oh,
for free.
oh, okay. We're giving, I know I'm like Molly,
JK,
apparently I
JK,
learned from
JK, we're
Molly.
giving you the script, but I am just showing this is how you build engagement and you get people to micro commit. So I want to know in the chat if you want the script. I'm not going to let Jenna give it to you unless you actually write the word script in the chat.
Oh, I love it.
Because she's
Yes.
so amazing and giving so much. If you're getting so much out of this magic, let us know. So we're getting script. Yes, on fire. Yes, please. Yes, yes, yes. This is a little strategy we call Whitneying, where you get people to get excitement before the key change happens, just like Whitney Houston did.
Amazing. So what's really cool, number one, is the script works, right? Number two, we don't have to type it ever again because we put it in GroupTrack. In fact, we give it to you in GroupTrack. And then all you do is you go find the people and you send it to them. And
Okay,
that's that
hold on.
easy.
The script, here's the other thing that why GroupTrack is so amazing is that oftentimes people will just copy and paste a message like this and they'll send it to like 20 people and then they get a warning on Facebook that says, hey, we've stopped you because we see unusual activity. Now, what is the unusual activity? You being a robot.
Right.
Don't be a robot.
Yeah.
How are we going to prevent that?
Yeah. So what we want to do instead, and what's really cool about GroupTrack is every time you send one of these messages, it will alter the actual message it sends for you. So it's not copy paste, it'll alter it. It pulls in their name, all the fun things.
So it
So
has
this,
different variations of the script that you pre-schedule in here.
exactly, right? So I don't even have to think about it. I'm like, boom, send, boom, send, boom, send, right? And then when they respond to me, then I get to turn on the human and really engage in a meaningful way. So here is what we're going to say. Number one, you guys need to remember when you message someone, it comes from your personal profile. So they may have liked your business page, but they may not remember, hey, wait a minute, Jenna is GroupTrack. They may not put those two together. They may also not know what your business does, how you help people, and they may not even remember that they liked it. Okay. So here is the formula. Number one, we always give them the trigger. What triggered you? What gave you permission in your brain to message them? And so this is what we're going to say. Thank you for liking my business page. Name. So we're going to say, thanks for liking my business page, GroupTrackCRM. So by the way, I'm reminding you, you like me. We're cool. You might be.
You're the one that started this, yo.
Yeah, you told me you liked me, so I'm messaging you, right? So then we say our offer statement. And if you don't know your offer statement, join Glam. She will help you position yourself. So what we're going to say is we help people monetize their social media with systems, strategies, and our software. So we're going to tell them what we do. Okay. So I help people build a relationship. I help
We
people,
help
whatever
people
it
to
is.
get clients with video and organic social. Like, do you know
Exactly.
what that is right now? We call it your value statement. Type it in the chat below if you know what you help people to do.
Yes, because you need your value statement. So I have my value statement. If you do, if you don't, you just need to join Glam. You're out of luck. Just kidding. So you're going to grab that value statement and you're going to put that in the message because you need people to know your business does this, gets this result for this person so that they're like seeing themselves in your business. Like, oh, interesting. I use video. I should probably monetize it. I should join Glam, right? Like that's how it works. So we send the message. Thank you for liking my business page, GroupTrackCRM. We help people do this. Then we ask a question, right? I'd love to learn a little bit more about what you're working on, or you can relate it back to your message. Like, I'd love to learn if you're using video to get more clients, how's that going, or whatever. So you can relate it back to your your offer statement, or you can just kind of keep it open. But the bottom line is we want to spotlight them. We don't want to make it about us. We want to elicit our yellow car to honk their horn and answer the question. And so we need to make it about them, ask them a question that's going to get them to talk about themselves, because that's what everybody wants to do. That is going to give you more connection. Then what we do is, as we're talking to them, we uncover their needs. If and only if you identify, wait a minute, they're a yellow car, then we take them to the next step. Now, if you're like, well, what's the next step? Well, we just look at GroupTrack to tell us what the next step is. When you look at your pipeline, which is going to manage where they are in your journey, it's going to tell you what to do next. So in our system, it's uncover needs. So then we move in, start asking questions about what they need. If you can serve them, then we invite them into our Facebook community. And that's where like the real magic happens. So that takes us to step number 4. So we have partner interviews, podcasts, interviews, trainings, all the things in other people's audiences. We have your friends list, which is kind of like the neighborhood. Then we have your business page likes, which is you're now driving past our brick and mortar. This is where the like most magical thing in the world happens. That little man that was sending messages that was like, woohoo, come into my group. They bring you into the group. And this is your online retail store. Let's not call it anything other than that. So what I want you to imagine, and what we teach at GroupTrack, is this white glove Nordstrom strategy when they come into our community. Because guess what? How many groups are you in where you're like, I don't even remember I'm in the group because I don't engage with anything, or you just feel like you're a number, right? They're here to sell me something. Okay. So this is the thing, guys. It doesn't matter how many people you have in your group. Size does not matter in this instance, right? Connection and quality does. And so what we want you to do is, as people are coming into your Facebook community, number 1, we want you to ask very strategic questions that are going to help you uncover what you need to know about this person in order to give them a very high touch, high value opportunity and connection within your group. So again, like, we are the Nordstrom of Facebook groups. We don't want this to be like, you know, something where you just come in and you feel like you're a number. No, we are going to ask you questions that are going to help us, our team, and you really get a good experience. And so we're going to ask those questions. One of the questions also happens to be, would you like to drop your email and opt into receiving occasional emails and so forth? Well, guess what, guys? When you approve someone into your group, do you know what happens? You lose all the information, like all of it. It's gone, right? Well, with GroupTrack, what happens is, if you simply, oh, you're muted.
I forgot. Just to be clear about that, if you are using the question feature when people join your group and you're not doing anything to save that information, that is a waste of your time and energy, because that information is then going off into the ether with no purpose. So what we were doing before, once again, is we actually had someone go in, grab the information and copy it individually into a spreadsheet. Do you understand how much time and money this is saving us?
So let me just put it in perspective.
Much.
Let's pretend you pay a VA $10 a day, which you couldn't even pay a VA $10 a day to do this. It would cost you $300 a month if there's 30 days to simply have someone copy and paste. Now, for our pro level, which comes with ridiculous amounts of stuff, I can't even tell you, it's only 157. Like, it pays.
Just to be clear, like, what can happen now when just one little nugget of what can happen when someone puts their email address into that question thing, it will grab the email that they typed in. It's not scraping anything from inside Facebook. It's publicly there, typed in. You could copy and paste it if you wanted to. Not only will it automatically put it into a spreadsheet, not only will it automatically put it into your CRM, it will automatically, if you have all the little compliance stuff there written out, it automatically opts them into an email list. So like on ours, when you join, it says, would you like to receive updates on the future and access to our video content planner? You are going to, when we click join, like approve, you are going to automatically get an email from us that says, hey, we see that you joined our Facebook group. As a thank you, here's our video content planner. Guess what else? Inside ConvertKit, I can see that you came from that separate form. So I already know in my email list that you are in our Facebook group.
It's so stinking good. And guess what? All of that happens in the background. All you had to do was push a button that says approve to group using GroupTrack, And
Even
all
I
of
don't
that
even need to push
machine.
it individually. I click approve all and it takes all that information. Then just to like shout out how amazing Jenna and Nate are, how amazing Jenna's brain is for coming up with this. If you're asking questions about their pain points, if you're asking questions about how they found you, if you're asking questions like, would you like to get a free audit? Would you like to book a call and see how we can support you? All of that information goes into a spreadsheet, goes into the actual CRM platform. And now there's a million things that you can do. If you're not sure what to write for your Facebook ads, holy smokes, go into your list of pain points that people have listed when they join your group. Y'all, so many of you, and this is like me giving away super secret information about what we're
I
doing here.
know, we're like,
But so many
really?
of you, I do a post with a giveaway and I say all you have to do to enter the giveaway is drop a question below this post. Guess what? I can save that information inside GroupTrack so I know in the future what questions you have. When it
Yeah.
comes time for me to write an ad or to do a video, I know the pain point to start with, or I know I learned from somebody once, like the tickle point, like what's the funny things that you think? What are the fun things? What are the things that you want? It's all recorded because GroupTrack is amazing. And I know that I'm shouting. I yell a lot when I'm
I know,
around
I do
Jenna
too.
because I'm very
That's why I
excited.
said, like, we're the worst two to be together because we're like, just for the love. But yeah, so when you approve someone into the group, it's going to capture whatever information they give you. And I love that you clarified, we do not scrape, we do not pull things that are not there. We literally just copy paste automatically what they've given. And so again, that information, now it doesn't matter what other CRM you're using. If we directly integrate with ActiveCampaign, MailChimp, Kartra, ConvertKit, and so forth. But if you use a CRM outside of those, we can connect it with Google Sheets. So there's an option for everybody. But let me tell you, this is the thing. We can't just hope to get people on email. We can't just hope that we're going to get them on the wall of our Facebook group. And we can't just hope that we're going to get people from DM. We have to get them from all angles. And when you put this all together, imagine they come into your community, they immediately get an email welcoming them. Then they come in and then you tag them in a welcome post and totally like get them hooked into what they need to do. And then they immediately, or maybe a little bit later, are going to get a message from either you or your community manager that says, thank you for joining our group. So here's the other script to welcome them to the group. Do you want this script? If you do, say, I want it.
Thank
See
you.
how I learned right there? Right? I listen. And by the way, I'm just going to share this one little thing. If you listen to Molly, you will make lots of money. I just have to like say that as plainly as day. So like, stop. Just start. Just start.
Listen, but then also do what Jenna does and actually implement this stuff, which
Also do
you
that.
said something the other day that was so good when you were like, you know, when we were having a conversation and you said to someone else, like, I don't implement everything she says. I just implement as much as I can and I still make loads of money or something like that.
That's exactly what I said. Like, I literally do maybe this much of what she tells us to do, and this is the return. So just saying that. But anyways, okay. So I know I was like screaming. They want it. I will now give it. Okay.
Okay,
So
thank you.
remember, here's the formula. We tell people what triggered us to message them so you are not a salesy weirdo. So when they join the group, remember, now they just got a welcome email. They're like, whoa, this is amazing. Then we're going to connect with them in the group. Then we're going to send them a message using GroupTrack, by the way, that's going to say, thank you for joining my group, da 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 da. So again, trigger, you join my group, I'm thanking you, I have permission to reach out. Number two, we tell them what the name of the group is because they may not connect Jenna equals GroupTrack group, right? So you've got to put them together. Then we're going to say your offer statement. I help people do this. Would you like to learn more about how we can help people get results or whatever, the rest of the thing is? Usually, again, we want to end with the question. Tell me more about your XYZ so we can get you in front of the right content. So this is the thing, guys. Number one, we ask those questions. We use them in the message when we welcome them. We want to make it unique. We want you to know this is not like a canned message we send everybody. Yes, all of this is preloaded in GroupTrack for you. So all you need to do is click a button, but we highly recommend that you make it unique to that person so they truly feel that Nordstrom experience. Once you come into the Facebook group, now what we want to do is we're going to actually offer you some drinks. Again, you know what I sell, right? I'm going to make you an offer to get GroupTrack clear, right? I'm not just like, oh yeah, the bar is over there if you want to go get it. No, right? And the same thing needs to happen in your Facebook community. people aren't going to help themselves. And so what we do is we ask you, tell me a little bit more about what you're looking to do. If you're a relationship coach, tell me what you're struggling with when it comes to dating. We've got some really cool resources inside of our community that we can direct you to. Give them what's in it for them, right? And so once you uncover their needs, again, what we're doing is we're using GroupTrack. So we're going to bring them through the process. We're going to send the message using GroupTrack. It's going to track them through the system. And again, you might be thinking like, wait, how do I know what to do next? Well, guess what? We give you the pipeline. It says, tag them in the message, send the welcome message, uncover their needs, add a tag, find out their pain points. Like all of this is in the tool. So it tells you exactly what to do. But here's where the strategy is, guys. And this is kind of the GroupTrack way that we teach. When you're in the DMs and you're asking those questions and you're getting to know their pain points, here's a key. Track what they told you. If they say, yeah, I'm really struggling with being able to vet the dates I go on, write that down, right? Because later, imagine as a group member for a moment, what if you told someone something and then later they did a training on that exact thing and they were like, hey, Anna, I know you told me that you're struggling with implementation. We're actually doing a training on Thursday to help you implement. Would you like to join? Imagine how you would feel, Anna. You'd be like, what? Oh my gosh, she remembered that I said I'm struggling with implementation and then she gave me an invitation to come to something that's actually going to solve my problem. What? Right? It's that easy because we're going to track this information and the tool is going to tell you who to talk to. So cool. So as you uncover their needs, you bring them through the stages and then you direct them to the content that is specifically going to solve their problem. We follow up. Look, see how that works, Anna? I called Anna out. Now Anna's super engaged. It's like literally exactly how it works. Okay. So again, guys, as we bring them through the system, we give them what they need. By the time we offer a sales call, they're like, oh my God, you gave me so much value for free. I can't even imagine what will happen when we do this. So,
and I this is so important what she said about making sure that you're writing it down. So those of you, I know we have a lot of members who are watching this right now who are inside Show Up with Video, which is our program before Glam. So we have a weekly call in there. We do lots of support on this. And I'm just going to remind you, if you're in that program, I swear to you, one of the most valuable trainings that we have in there actually isn't about video. It's about this. So it's about how to connect. It's the daily star tasks system that we have. There's an acronym for the word stars, but it's really just about connecting with people. And whether or not you're using something like GroupTrack, you want to make sure that you're doing what Jenna's telling you, which is you're writing these things down. It could be on a Post-it note. It could be on a, in a notebook. It could be in any of these different places. And one of the reasons that I sometimes shy away from telling you about the magic of GroupTrack is because sometimes I'm worried that you're going to get like so caught up in the tool and the excitement of all of that, and you're not actually going to implement. The real magic that happens here is when you show up, you do the work, and you use this tool to actually talk to people and make sales, not just use this tool to build out something that looks cool and that you can show your friends like, oh, look, I can do this on social. Like you want to actually use it to keep track of this stuff and use it to move your business forward. Rather than feeling like you need to build out some huge ad campaign, go talk to the people that are already there.
Okay, so can I just say this? Can you imagine you were a business owner and you were standing in your brick and mortar and you walk outside of the business and start yelling and complaining, man, I wish there were more people inside my business. When you actually have people inside your business right now,
Seriously.
like how crazy that is, right? But that's how we feel about our groups. We're like, our groups are so little, there's nothing in it. No, there are people waiting for you to serve them. You have to go ask them what they're looking to drink and then offer them what they want. They will take
or bring them a sample
it.
of perfume or something like that. Like if we really look at the way businesses have been run for years and years and years and compare it to the way that digital marketing works, the problem is there's so much out there about vanity metrics, and that doesn't matter. Like it really doesn't matter. So I love the analogy of looking like what it would be like if you were in a store and there were 5 people in an actual store. You would feel like that store was packed.
Yes.
It'd be
And
a
you would be
busy
like,
store.
wait a minute, let me serve these people before I go complain about it and go try to find more, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the beautiful thing. We need the system within the community to bring them through our pipeline, convert them, Once we have that, then we scale through these other things like ads and all the goodness, right? Like I said, I was just chatting with a client who, is doing 6-figure months. And he said, literally, like he's increased his sales month over month by 20 grand, like a month since using GroupTrack. It's because he's got this system now. He's converting at such a higher rate. He was able to lower his ad spend. And he said, Jenna, you would not even believe I'm using 20% of the capability of GroupTrack, 20%. He's getting that much return, and he's only using 20% of what it can even do, right?
Yeah.
And so there's just so much power in being organized and knowing where every single person is. Anna, I'm obsessed with you. She said, my store is packed. Right? Again, if you are an associate at a store, would you not walk up to these people and be like, hey, what are you here for? Can I serve you? If
Hey,
they
how
said
can I
yes,
help you? I mean,
yeah,
and you love when someone comes up to you and says, have you found everything you're looking for?
yes,
Why have we decided that that should not work on social media? Because of our own insecurity and because we see that so-and-so fancy pants has 100 likes on their video, but you don't know if so-and-so fancy pants is talking to those people
no,
or if they, paid for some weird ad campaign to non-yellow cars. You don't know who
right.
those fancy likes are.
Right. But I can tell you, I know exactly where every single human inside of my Facebook group is on my buying journey. I know their pain points. I know what they're looking for. I've got them in front of content that I know will give them value. If they're ready to learn about what it looks like to work with me, I'm going to ask them. So when we direct them to the section in Nordstrom, like they told me they're looking for a dress, well, I'm going to put them in the dress section. I'm going to give them in front of content that actually serves them. And then I'm going to follow up because guess what? We can't just give them to the dressing room, give them 5 dresses to turn on or try on and then leave. No. So when we get them in front of the content, we say, awesome, I tagged you in a training that I think is really going to be helpful and get you some quick results based on what you told me. I'm going to follow up in a couple days, see what you think, and ask what questions you might have. So
Just like
I'm
you
telling
would do in the dressing room.
yes, because guess what? She's going to come back and be like, hey, Jenna, did that fit? And I'm going to be like, no, I need another one. And she's going to bring me another one. And then I'll be like, oh, yeah, I think this one's good. And then she's going to say, awesome. Would you like me to walk you over to the thing to help you buy it? I'm going to say, yeah, here's my credit card.
Yeah,
We have to
and
make offers.
at Anthropologie also, they add extra things in. Oh, there's actually this top that looks like it's in your size and it matches those pants. And I'm like, oh my God, thank you.
Yeah. So again, we have to know where the people are. We have to know what to do with them. What's funny, and I would love for you to just share the screen one time as we wrap
Yeah.
this up, guys. This is the thing. Have you noticed that 99% of our conversation has been around strategy, and we haven't even really shown you the tool that much? That's what's so crazy, you guys, is if you already have a system and a strategy and you just need a tool to manage it, it's right here for you. If you're one of those people that's like, oh my God, this is genius. I do not have a strategy for monetizing my group. I need one. Look, this is what we give you. We give you the stages of the pipeline. We tell you exactly what to say at every step along the way. So you're going to know first I do this, then I do this, then I do this, then I do this. And simply, you're just going to move the people through the pipeline as you do it. So you're going to know. And again, what's so beautiful about this is you can use it with yourself and your team. So you can add team members to this. They get access to all the features you guys get, all the stuff, all the goodies, and they can work it on your behalf. Again, it's kind of crazy. We're here to talk about GroupTrack, yet literally we've not even shown you the tool or half of the things that it can do. But that's the point, you guys. If you need a strategy and a system, we can do that for you, right? We can give you everything you need. And then when you couple that with what you're learning from Molly, like literally, there's nothing you can't. We have clients that are doing out of control amounts of results using this tool, like out of control. And you're muted, but she's very excited.
I'm very excited and I muted again. So this is so awesome. I know we are we've already passed our hour, so I just want to be respectful of your time as well. I love the nuggets that we're getting. I love Colleen, we love you so much. GroupTrackCRM is the best tool out there. Yes, systematize and monetize your social media so much. 2 quick questions. Do you have time to answer 2 quick questions? And then we can wrap in 3 minutes.
Absolutely.
So Cassandra, this is not a question, but I love this. This is a question, but do you want fries with that order? I mean, hello, we can be adding our little upsells in here. Totally. Okay. So Jenna, talk to us about this. If someone is not using a Facebook group, are they able to use this? And what do we do?
Absolutely. We have tons of clients that use it without any Facebook group. So the strategy is going to be, and again, we give this to you preloaded in your system, where to go find those clients. We call it out in the wild, right? Just like we showed you, friends group, or excuse me, your friends list, your business page, other groups, right? You can go add those people to your pipeline and bring them through a rinse and repeat system. Only difference is, instead of the end point of your first pipeline being get them into a group, you just are simply going to make them an offer, right? Same exact thing. You do not need a group. You can use a group. We highly recommend, if you're looking to monetize, it's a really great way to go, but it is absolutely not necessary to use GroupTrack and get
And
results.
one cool thing about the groups, even I have this strategy that I call the Sifter Strategy, where I'll do little pop-up groups. You may have been a part of our Kickstart or another masterclass or workshop that we've offered in a separate pop-up group. And the reason that I like to do that is because you have those 3 questions that they automatically answer. And it doesn't feel like an opt-in page or like a form they have to fill out, because we're all used to using those questions. So if you're open to that, awesome. And if
Which,
you're wondering about other
oh, sorry,
platforms,
there. Mhm.
I heard from a little birdie that other platforms may be added soon too.
Yes. So, by the way, I mean, again, when I say that we like literally like bug Molly all day, and she is like, she should basically just be like a board member of GroupTrack at this point. Like, I don't even know what that's called, but you are an advisor basically. We're like, what do we need to know? And she's like, Instagram, Instagram, Instagram. We're like, okay. So we met yesterday. We are in the process of creating it, driving it, and we hope to release it in the next month. So we are beta testing with some of our folks now, and then the next step would be LinkedIn. Ideally, someday our goal is to be the social CRM for all platforms. Right now, our big focus is where we are today on the Book of the Faces, as Molly would say. Yes, we're calling it in for sure. But yeah, I mean, yeah.
It's awesome. It's already happening. It's already happening. My future gratitude is so big. So
Yeah.
if you're wondering about this tool, seriously, when you do free trainings once a week, also, are you still doing that?
Yes, every single Thursday. Well, 2 trainings. We do a Tuesday training where we onboard you. So we help you set your entire system up for your business, your success. We teach you how to use it. Every Thursday, I run a call where it's free and I'm teaching you how to implement and get results using it. So, like, it's the Jenna show. So I'm just going to warn you, like, I am like, do this and do it now and send it. And I like make you get results. So if you want results, then come. If you don't, that's okay too.
Oh my gosh, I love it so much. I'm so grateful for you. This has been so awesome. And like we said in the beginning, whether or not you're using GroupTrack, start using this type of a system. It's just going to take you longer at first if you're not going to start using an actual CRM like this that connects to the actual platform that you're using. So this system is awesome. If you want the notes, what is happening? Drop the word lead below this video. We'll come back to you. The notes are not written yet because we just are speaking as we're doing this right now, but they'll be done within a week. We'll get those notes to you. If you want to actually try GroupTrack, if you want to use GroupTrack, if you're watching this on my stuff, go to molly.live/awesome. If you're watching this on Jenna's stuff, Jenna will tell you where to go.
It's fine.
They do have an awesome partner program also. So if you have a community of people who would benefit from this, Jenna would love to connect also to be able to share this with your community. They have an awesome affiliate program. It is awesome. I've said awesome 15 times. That's why the link is molly.live/awesome, because I love it so much. Oh my gosh, we're going to pick the nugget winner in just a second. Okay.
Yes.
So if you want to be the one who wins the So Good shirt, we are going to pick that in the chat. So drop your favorite nugget right now. Jenna, is there anything else you want to make sure that you say as we're wrapping this up?
Final thing, guys, is number 1, we have a 12 free day trial. So if you guys get in, what we're going to do is you're going to come in and we're going to give you the experience of what it feels like to be served at a level that we teach. So you're going to get to see what it feels like from the back end side as the customer. We'll bring you into our onboarding. We'll get you set up. We will hold your hand and you have 12 days to try it and see what you think. We also have multiple tiers. So I know I mentioned the price of our top tier. That is like all the bells and whistles, ridiculousness. There are also basic tiers, which are a little bit less of an investment. And it really just is like, you can take baby steps. You don't have to go all in. You can kind of say, okay, you know what? Yeah, I want to start tracking and converting and doing the things and get organized. We have one that's perfect for that level as well.
It's so awesome. So
and then
good.
Molly, because Molly, guys, I just don't know. Again, I've known her since I was 11, and it is just so stinking cool to watch this woman like turn into who she is. So like for me to have her as a mentor, as a coach, like couldn't be more special, but I cannot scream enough. If you want to monetize your social media, use her strategies, combine them with GroupTrack, like out of control. That's all I will
Out
say. Go
it's
learn from Molly.
amazing magic. How long can you just share just like 1 minute, like how long you've been in glam and like how that even has like the experience of like where you were when you came in and where you are now?
Yeah. So I think I joined Glam like 3 years
I
ago.
looked,
I
it
don't
was
know.
2.5 years ago because it
Two
was
and a
I
half.
was like
Okay.
I went and looked today, I wasn't sure. So it was two and a
Two
half
and a
years
half.
ago. Yeah.
Wow. So joined 2.5 years ago. I had one business. I was, I think, around six figures, maybe like just had broken six figures, maybe a little bit more. And I was selling something completely different that I don't sell at all anymore. Completely pivoted, turned into high ticket coaching. And that one has just exploded. And then I accidentally created GroupTrack. Molly has taken us between my combined, companies at being just above six figures. So I think we were around like 8 last year and just growing. So if I can
So
say,
8, you don't mean 8 figures because that sounded like 8 figures, but
uh, oh no,
800
800,000. Yeah.
800,000. So which
Eight
would be
figures would be
amazing
glorious.
if it was 8 figures, and I really like that banana,
I know, but you
which is
didn't have to
awesome.
correct it. You could have just made it sound amazing. Yeah. I mean, but
It
like,
is so
hello.
amazing though. Like, okay, from around 100K to 800,000 by showing up and actually implementing this stuff and like not having all the crazy funnily mad like
Oh, yeah, no,
cuckoo
I do
things
none of
behind
that,
the
by the
scenes.
way. I don't even have a
What?
landing page, let's just be clear. I talk to humans. In fact, I have a 10K program that Molly helped me create in my coaching space. I do not have a landing page. I refuse to ever have a landing page because I want to prove to the world you don't need fancy things. You just need to speak to humans. And when you use GroupTrack, you speak to more humans, you make more sales without any of the things that you think you need. That's a whole nother Jenna rant for a whole nother day.
It is amazing. Do the things and
Yeah,
things happen. Create the
exactly right.
opportunities. Like Sean was saying on our call yesterday. It's so true. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. I love the yelling. Okay. Implementation pays. I'm going to wear this I'm going to like, I don't know. I feel like inspired. Maybe
I
that's
love
weird.
it.
Okay. I'm so excited. Okay. Jenna, here's how we do this. I love you so much and I'm so proud of you. And it's the coolest thing ever. I like this nugget also. There's some really good nuggets here. I like this one. I approve of this nugget. Nugget, join
Yes.
Glenn. Yes. Okay. If you are going to start at least trying GroupTrack today, trying this system, just give us a I'm in the chat. And I'm going to pick the nugget winner right now. So I'm going to scroll back through these nuggets. And then Jenna, you just tell me when to stop.
Okay. Stop.
Okay, I am so glad this happened because your nuggets have been so good, Cassandra, which is so awesome. She says, Nugget, write this stuff down. So I need to give a little shout out also because this is my very own piano teacher who is the best ever. And if you are looking for any support with music at all, she is the person to help you. I've just been so grateful. We do virtual piano lessons every week. I'm ditching her today because I'm taking the boys to Disneyland tonight. But she is absolutely amazing. And I love on YouTube, somebody else said that her notes were helping them to take the notes because your nuggets have been so good. So Cassandra, if you don't have one already, we are going to send you a So Good shirt, which is going to be so good. I love it. Awesome. All right, Jenna, close us out. We're wrapping this up. Take us home. Last final nugget.
Talk to people, talk to humans. If you do things happen and your bank account will fill. Stop asking people to go to the bar and start offering them a custom cocktail.
Custom cocktails. I love it. So good. Oh my gosh, this has been so awesome. We have so many I'm-ins. I'm so grateful that you guys are going to get in there and try this because it has just been an absolute game changer for us. Know that it's so easy if you just take the next step and know that you're fully supported because they really do there's so much support inside the Facebook group and all of this. So they've got you covered. So thank you. And oh my gosh, it's been amazing. Thanks so much, Jenna.
Awesome.
We'll be back.
Thank you
We're
so
here
much. Bye,
live
everybody.
almost every Wednesday. And sometimes not, but sometimes we are. I did every Wednesday for 4 years straight, and I figured it was okay if I was kind of loosey-goosey with it. But pay attention. That's why you've got to turn the notifications on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. And we will be getting you the show notes soon. So I'll talk to you soon.
Amazing. Thank you.
Amazing.
Okay, bye, everybody.
It'll be awesome. Bye.